Hey everybody, it's John from the Hustle Daily Show. Before we get into the news today, did you know that HubSpot launched an AI chatbot that helps you build awesome campaigns at scale with just a few prompts? It's called Campaign Assistant, and it's a totally free-to-use AI tool that will transform the way that you build marketing campaigns at scale. And the best part? It works seamlessly with all of HubSpot's marketing and sales tools to scale your output across email, social, and more. So AI your way into the most effective campaigns yet at HubSpot.com/campaign-assistant.
Howdy, folks. It is Tuesday, May 2nd. I'm Jacob Cohen, and you're listening to The Hustle Daily Show. Today we're talking about Tesla. Let's see how many puns I can put in the next sentence. The company is charging ahead with price cuts, hoping to amp up affordability and thus sales, but in the process, sacrificing profits and shocking rivals and investors. I guess you could say they're really revamping their strategy. Okay, that's enough for today. More on that story in a bit, but first, let's take a quick look at what else is happening in the world of business and tech. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. Okay, first things first. Newly minted as U.S. history's second largest bank failure is First Republic Bank. The bank was swallowed up after a deal was struck with the FDIC and JP Chase, already the nation's largest bank and now cartoonishly massive after adding more than $200 billion of First Republic's assets between $173 billion in loans and $30 billion in securities. JP Morgan said it'll assume all of First Republic's $92 billion in deposits as well. JP Morgan had $2.4 trillion in deposits at the end of March. Now, First Republic lost $100 billion in deposits in a March bank run following the recent run on Silicon Valley Bank. Here's a fun fact that is actually not so fun at all, even in the slightest. 3 of the 4 largest ever bank failures in American history have gone down in the last 2 months. JP Morgan Chief Executive Jamie Dimon said, "Everyone should just take a deep breath. This part of the crisis is over." Okay. Switching gears a bit, just a little bit. The Super Mario Brothers movie became the year's first film to gross $1 billion at the box office. Narrowly, I'll add, beating Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey to the finish line by a narrow $995 million. All right, in other news, Microsoft is releasing a payment system that'll work from inside Microsoft Teams, which, for instance, a small business or a financial advisor, a lawyer, a tutor, or others could use to collect payments within virtual meetings, according to The Verge. And I mean, this is just a great example of vertical integration, which is basically a synonym for Microsoft at this point. I mean, seriously. Also, Adidas shareholders filed a class action lawsuit over the brand's partnership with Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. The suit claims Adidas execs did not properly warn investors about the rapper's troubling behavior, which ultimately led to the termination of the company's Yeezy deal and more than $1 billion in losses. Moving ahead, Jack Ma has resurfaced after a dispute with Chinese regulators led him to leave public life for 2 years. Once China's richest man, the Alibaba co-founder and former English teacher, is now a visiting professor at Tokyo College. And honestly, kudos to any student confident enough to attend his office hours. I mean, they're scary enough already, so kudos to you. Also, FOMO, NOMO, as you spend all day either consuming or not giving a you-know-what about fashion slideshows from last night's Met Gala. A reminder that ticket costs were either $50,000 per seat or $300,000 per table this year. And last but not least, Hoops legend Kevin Durant is dropping dimes, signing a lifetime deal with Nike ahead of the release of his 16th signature shoe. The star's prior shoe deal, signed in 2014, was worth $350 million over 20 years, on top of his current $194 million NBA contract. Speaking of the NBA, shout out to all the East Coasters staying up late tonight to watch LeBron and Steph go at it. It's going to be wild. At least I hope it's going to be wild. So with that, let's get on to the main story and get you on with your day. Okay, so if you're someone maybe in the market for a Tesla or someone who follows Tesla news on a regular basis, you honestly may have been feeling some deja vu lately, or maybe feeling like you've been living in Groundhog Day. And that's because the company has cut prices some half a dozen times in recent months. And that's pretty wild, especially since it comes at a time, and like everyone listening to this knows, companies across all industries are raising prices to keep up with inflation. Now, for investors, Tesla's price cuts are kind of like a parallel park in New York City. Tough to watch, but very impressive if nailed. The question is whether the automaker has nailed its latest cuts, which Elon Musk says will enable affordability at scale, remains to be seen. So the company is driving a hard bargain. Last month, Musk assured investors that Tesla remains the only automaker capable of selling cars for zero profit today, thanks to their potential to serve high-margin driverless software that will allow its cars to appreciate in value in the future. And this software, mind you, was supposed to come out years ago, and every year it's said that it'll come out this year, and we'll see if it actually comes out this year. By the way, when we say price cuts, we mean price cuts. Already in 2023, the company's Model Y SUV has seen its starting price drop more than 29%, or more than $20,000, to about $47,000, which is $759 below that of the average new vehicle in the US. That's really remarkable. You're unlikely to find anyone looking to buy a Model Y that's going to complain about this, because that would be just plain odd. On the other hand, head over to Wall Street and you'll find a whole bunch of folks questioning the impact this has on Tesla's profit margins, which, while still particularly strong for the industry, were the company's lowest in 11 quarters in this past first quarter, which just emphasizes how serious Tesla is getting about making its cars affordable for the masses. Now, shifting gears a bit, some analysts now also wonder whether these cuts will, in fact, be so challenging for Tesla's competition that competitors will be forced to slow their pricey investments and pivots from combustion to electricity, or worse yet, go out of business altogether. And I think you'll find more and more people wondering if it's safe to say this could truly mark the start of a make or break moment where if other automakers struggle to find ways to swallow more losses and revamp their own strategies, Tesla's pricing power may mean it'll have an easier and easier time leaving competition in the dust. And on that electrifying note, bada bing, bada boom. That's going to do it for us today, folks. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig. Our executive producer is Darren Clarke. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go get yourself signed up at thehustle.co/email. Hope you have a terrific Tuesday. Go on, get out of here, have fun. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Let me tell you about a show that I've been loving lately. It's called Entrepreneurs on Fire. It's hosted by the incredible John Lee Dumas. It's available now on the HubSpot Podcast Network. Entrepreneurs on Fire stokes inspiration and shares strategies to fire up your entrepreneurial journey and create the life that you've always dreamed of. I'm a big fan of this podcast. It has energy, it has value, and it's all about learning about entrepreneurship. I was just listening to an episode the other day. JLD interviewed Jay Rogers, who was such a wealth of information. He kind of went into how entrepreneurship chooses you. You don't necessarily choose it, and that failure only happens when you stop trying to win. A lot of gems in this one, so I highly recommend checking out that particular episode along with the rest. So go listen to Entrepreneurs on Fire wherever you get your podcasts. Hey guys, if you listen to the Hustle Daily Show on Google Podcasts, we want to let you know that the option will no longer be available pretty soon. Google is sunsetting its podcast app sometime in early 2024 in favor of YouTube Music, and we want to give you a heads up before it's too late, since that time's almost here. The Hustle Daily Show is available everywhere and anywhere that you listen to podcasts, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you're using YouTube Music, we are there as well. If you're an Android fan, there are plenty of apps like Overcast, Pocket Casts, Player FM, and more. So just search for us wherever you decide to listen to your favorite podcasts.